What is going on, everybody? Jerry here at 3DHP. I'm in sunny, hot Las Vegas. I just partnered with Vistasculpt, and it is an awesome program. They got so many new updates and features. I've got a couple really cool things I'd like to show you how I did it, what I made, and we'll get into it right after this. Welcome back, everybody. I first learned about Vistasculpt a few weeks ago from my online friend Dave Gatton CNC. He streams every Wednesday and he talks about CNC projects he's working on. He's been reviewing Vistasculpt here for at least a few weeks now, and every week on his show he's been talking about it, and I've learned a lot, and it's really an amazing software. And just out of the blue, Vistasculpt emailed me, like to know if I'd like to review their product, so they hooked me up with a license. And here we go with a lot of future videos. I hope to do. There's a lot of times I have trouble coming up with ideas when I review printers and lasers and things like that. I have trouble thinking of what should I make, what should I do. But Vistasculpt is the answer. I think it's the answer that I need and probably a lot of people need. I know they recently done an update that a lot of people may not know about, where you can take a regular image and you can make a 3D model out of it, an STL, you can engrave things. You can use their AI function to make things like this. And I'm still learning. I've got a ton of videos to go. This will be my first video on the product. But I want to jump in the house and I'm going to get it to the computer. I'm going to show you a few things that I made and how I did it. Show you the process and see what you think. But anyway, please like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. And yes, I'm older now. I had a birthday the other day. As a lot of you know, I'm 62 and over the hill. Anyway, here we go. So like, subscribe, and share, and all that good stuff, and I appreciate it. And once again, this video is sponsored by Vistasculpt. Thank you. All right, guys, here we are. We're in the house now. We're at Vistasculpt.com. Let's take a quick peek at the software, kind of look through here and see what's what. I have a link in the description where to go to see this at. Image to 3D model, text to 3D model, AI 3D relief generation, image to 3D relief, vector, image to vector. Yeah, there's so much you can do here. And as I mentioned, I will be going through different steps of this to create different things on my CNC 3D printer, fiber laser, diode laser. Different content, different videos. Software is completely compatible. I will be using Carb Maker with my CNC. I pay for that monthly. I'll create my STL files. I'll drop it in Carb Maker. I'll show you my process, and then we'll show you it working. We'll jump out in the shop, do a little tasting. You can see what's going on with it and see the final product. Same with my 3D printers. Show you some time lapses, and we'll get going. But so far, I'm loving what I'm seeing. Let's go to download page, see what's there. That's where you can download a demo. Okay, different tutorials on how to use the product. Other than watching people on YouTube, YouTube University. There's a little bit of everything, anything and everything out there. And they have all kinds of documentation on how to do everything. I have not looked through this yet. I need to. This is the first time I've clicked on this tab. So it'll help me understand a lot of things that I'm doing. Amazing. Alright guys, here we are in Vistasculpt. I just updated right before I started today. This is version 1.2.5. It had an update, so we're going to go right here. We're going to do image to relief. Our options are image to relief, image to 2D vector, 3D to relief, and image to 3D. And today we're going to be working with image to relief and image to 3D. So you click on upload. Upload an image. Dog's cropped picture. We're going to open that up. That's Sandy, the brown and white, and Nikita is the black dog there. Both my good girls. I love them very much. And I'm not sure with a lot of things that are on here, so for now I'm skipping this. I have lots to learn, so I'm going with what I did the other day. We're not going to enhance image for 2 credits. Hit cancel. And I'm going to hit generate 3D relief. And that's processing. So, yay, it's finished. Wow, that looks really cool. Let's see. 12 by 9.5. So let's come over here. The length will be 12. By 9.5. 0.50. Oh, not 950. I don't know why I did it wrong there. There we go. Wow. Check that out. I used another program a while back to try to do the same thing, and it did not look nothing like this. Look at that. That is just, wow. That's the bomb. That is amazing. Very cool. So I'm going to hit accept that model. Thickness, I'm only working with 3/4 of an inch. So I need to turn this down a little bit. Be 0.75 at the. Well, I'll just leave it there. 0.7 on. I had exactly 0.75 the other day. For now, I'll just leave it. And it's looking pretty good. Then here we have a ton of options, which let's see, create mold. You can pause if you want to read any of these. Solidify. Remove plane. Depth optimization. Spherical bend. Crop. Frame. Crop with offset. Smooth outline, fill holes, edit height curve, smooth, AI enhancer, shape creator, sculpting, and warp surface. And I believe the other day I was messing with my edges here. And you'll see, I'll talk about it later what happened, but I was messing with my edges. So for now, I'm not going to mess with anything. I'll just leave that the way it is. Hit export 3D. And right here is where I have the dog engraving. I've already exported it, so I don't need to redo it. But normally I would hit save, then we'll move on to the next step. Alrighty, from the next one, let's see, click to upload. Do an AI generate image. And my description, I believe I used, was I wanted a Chinese dragon with a lattice background around it. And in the keywords, I generated it. It's this picture right here. I'm going to click on it. And it looks pretty amazing. I did want to cut out all that recessed area. Initially, that lattice area, I wanted to have all that cut out in the background. And that isn't what happened, but it still looks good. You'll see when I show you here. That looks amazing. Okay, detailed scale, 350, that's correct. My size, I'll have to change. I'm working with inches. Okay, let me hit generate 3D relief. And that'll take just a second. I hope my computer doesn't lock up again. Alrighty, that got done. My computer didn't lock up that time. I've been having video card issues. And that's looking pretty good. We need to change its size. Alright, let's see. Take that down to '21. Accept model. Now thickness. What do I want to be at? Let's see, 0.75. There we go. And back up to all my other tools here. There's nothing here I currently want to use. I'll have to learn as I go using this program what they all do and when I would or would not want to use them. But for today's video and me just learning this product, we're starting to learn it. We're going to leave things where they're at. Generate 3D relief. And I will save that as an STL. Alright, I got my Elegoo slicer opened up for my Elegoo Centauri Carbon. And we're going to load up the dog picture. So I normally drag and drop one monitor to the other. I open up the folder, take my mouse, click on it, drag it over, and I drop it on the build plate. Let's see, import. See if this works. Dogs, STL, boom. Oh no! Look at that. That's little, ain't it? Alright, we're going to go up here to scale, and we're going to bring it up to 950%. 950, hit enter. Nope, that's not big enough. Let's try 1400. Hit enter. Try 1500. Oops. 1700, that looks good. Yep. And then we want to stand it up on end, so where's the lay flat button? Lay flat button is there. You highlight it and you just pick one of the white surfaces. I want this edge, and as you can see, there we go. Now, and I'm going to use wood filament, wood PLA. I have a 0.6 nozzle. Let's see. In my Elegoo, I got a 0.6 nozzle. We're going to do a 0.18 fine layer height. 10% infill. That's an awful lot of infill. Let's go 5%. Speed, normal, supports. We're going to put tree supports on it. And I'm going to paint some supports also. I could angle that back a little bit. Or leave it upright, put supports. I want the bottom to be perfectly flat so I don't have any failures. Trust me, I know. Don't ask me how I know that. We're going to paint some supports on. With paintbrush there. Pen size. We want it to be very large. A circle. And I'm going to hold down the left button. I'm going to drag straight across the slide. Put a bunch of supports on it. Let's make sure that thing don't go anywhere. And click the tool away. This is a roll of PLA wood filament that I had from back in the day. Remember when everybody used to do Groots all the time? Yeah, a couple years ago. I've had the filament for quite a while. Sealed in plastic. Didn't dry it. Loaded it, took it out of the plastic, threw it on the machine, and started printing. So let me slice this, see how it comes out. Import. I'm going to bring in the dragon. And as you can see, there it is. It's little. So we'll go up here and we're going to hit scale. And we're going to take that up to, I don't remember, 950? I don't remember what it was. That looks pretty good. 950 will work. Click that off. And then again, I want to put this on end also. So I will click the lay on face. Everything turns white. I'll click on the edge I want it on. It's right there. And that looks really good. And we will, let's see, check the 5% infill, it's fine. 0.6 nozzle. The color is going to be green, so it doesn't matter, but you can just pick a green if you choose to. It's not going to be PLA wood. It's going to be PLA Pro. I don't remember I don't have a sticker. I don't know the brand. I'll just pick the generic profile. Supports. I'm going to generate supports again. And I'll paint supports on the back and slice it. And once again, it'll get going. Then we'll simply go up and hit the slicer and start going. So here's those time lapses you'll get to see here in just a minute. Alrighty, I've got my 3D prints done. I'd like to show them to you. And I'll bring them really close so you can see them. Well, out in the garage, I did this in MDF at 21.5 inches by 21.5 inches. Here I did it on my 3D printer. And I've got some green filament here. I forget what type of filament this is at the moment. If I can think it up or find the roll, I'll put it on the bottom of the screen. But they came out really good. And then on the wood filament, it's like, why not? It's just sitting on the shelf, wrapped in plastic. I haven't done a Groot in years, so let's print the girls, you know, my doggies. So it came out real good. Something I done in Vistasculpt, I'm not sure what it was. I went really thin on that one corner. So let me bring these in close and show them to you. Check that out. That is amazing. That came out so cool. But as you can see, I got the one really thin edge Now when I show you that in wood, you're going to see what happens to that thin edge. But this is in wood PLA on my Elegoo Centauri carbon. That came out beautiful. We got Nikita here, Sandy here. And you see them all the time in my live streams. I'm always giving them treats and bones and crackers. And then I have in my video, I always show a picture of them at the end. You'll see a picture like this of them live, and then it shows them smiling. When they're smiling and their mouth's open, that's an AI. AI enhanced that to make it. But yeah, that came out beautiful. Then the dragon. Check that out. See if I can get it just right so you can see it. Came out amazing. Very, very nice. So let's jump out in the hot shop and we'll show you what I did in the wood. Where am I looking at on camera? Right there. There you are. Let's go out in the shop right now. Alrighty, here we are out in the shop, and here's the first one I did on my two girls. This was 3/4 MDF when I got started, and bring it in for a close-up. You kind of see what happened here. Somehow, I got something screwed up and I cut off Sandy's ear on this side. Then my material went really thin. You couldn't really see it in the PLA as well, but for some reason I did something wrong in Vistasculpt. It must have, maybe it wasn't laying flat in the bed, it had an angle. Something was screwed up, and I didn't realize it, and it cut it real thin. But it came out really good. And as you're going to see in the video here in just a minute, if I haven't already showed it, is I didn't have my dust extractor turned on. Well, I started out with it turned on because MDF is some really nasty stuff. You need to have it in a well-ventilated area, wear a dust mask or respirator or something when you're working with it. The dust collector, I started with it, and it had a grounding issue, and it shut off the machine. And part of the job, I ran right through my project. So I had to restart it. I ordered some grounding wire off of Amazon. Lowe's didn't have any. And I wrapped my hoses really well. I grounded them to the ground, to the trash can down below, to the motor. I grounded it to one of the bolts. And then I ran another grounding wire from the back of the machine on the bed, the aluminum, and I ran that over and tied that into the first one. So I restarted the job, and then had no problem whatsoever. Had my dust extractor properly hooked up, and I started a bigger job. Check this out. Man, this is a beauty. 21.5 by 21.5, 3/4 MDF. Let's see if I can get it just right in the light. See if you can see that. I'm not sure how it's going to come out on camera, but this thing is a monster. The finishing pass is what killed me. I had my live stream on Saturday at 12 o'clock, or on Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific. I started this job at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I figured, it'll get done sometime that night. No. I was up till 4:30 in the morning waiting on it to finish. It was just taking way too long on the finishing pass. 21.5 hours. So I did something wrong. Yeah, I got a G-Sender. It has a bar in G-Sender where I could speed it up. It didn't seem to operate. It wouldn't work. I don't know if you can do that on the fly or not. But yeah, the job finished. Came out perfect. And I had one problem with my stepper motor on my X-axis where for some reason it wasn't responding, and I had a bad cut after I did my finishing pass. It went up through the model, and I was really concerned that was on the roughing pass, but thankfully on the finishing pass it completely got rid of all that. Now there's one area right here, if you can see that. I don't know what happened there. I don't know why that's there. Everything was going along perfect. Then it has a couple boo-boos right there. I'll try to sand out those spots. Not sure why it shifted like that, but had a boo-boo. But so far, Vistasculpt has been a fantastic program. I'm just touching the surface. I'm learning. I only started using it a few days ago. I got so much to learn, so many more videos to do. And yeah, I guess that's about all I can say. Please like, subscribe, and share. As soon as Vistasculpt makes me a discount coupon, I will post that below all my videos and on my weekly live streams. I'll let you know what the code is so you guys can try out the program. There's a link. You can try it for free, but if you want to buy it, I should have a discount code where you can purchase it at a discount. And they also gave me 3 keys. 3 3-month pro license keys. So on my live stream, coming up this following week, a week before my surgery. I'm going to give away one key during the live stream. And then each month I'll give away one more key, which will be a total of three-month keys for the pro license. In the U.S., it's like $147, $148 value for those keys. And I want to thank you, Vistasculpt. Thank you very much for contacting me. And I hope to make many, many more videos, try to show you guys what I've learned. You might be interested. And it keeps me busy on all my machines. I got diode lasers. I got an RF CO2 laser. I have a fiber laser. I got 3D printers. I got a resin printer. I got 2 CNCs. So I got plenty of machinery to make products and content on. So please like, subscribe, and share all that good stuff. And until next time, happy printing, happy laser engraving, happy CNCing, milling. And we'll talk to you later now. Thank you, and have a great day. Bye-bye.